So 3 months ago, I started building and shipping apps for clients, and I had 2 clients, and now I have 9 that I consult for, and it takes up all my time, which is great. As a solo operator, I'm constantly increasing my capacity right now, which is ridiculous. And I'm doing things I have no right doing, which is cool too. A friend actually recently told me I'm a little bit like Kung Fu Panda. I have no right being so good at some of the things I'm good at. But the particular thing I want to show people today is these meta models. And 3 months ago, I was shipping apps and it was taking me about 2 weeks to ship a full production ready app. Yesterday morning, fast forwarding to now, I shipped 4 apps in 2 hours yesterday morning, complete production ready ones because of the set of mental models I'm going to show today. So this is a chain of thinking that I've applied. I wrote a book called A Player Brains that took me 18 months to write, where I really figured out something that I think is the critical thing we need to figure out as humans in the next few years. And I actually wrote this as a post today. I'm just going to share my screen here. There's this thing that most people don't realize, which is in hindsight, you should really be more careful with your words in the age of AI because of the thing called the alignment problem. AI is going to do what you said, not what you meant. And that gap is going to be your biggest liability. So we really need to be really careful in the age of AI as to how we handle these things. So I really think that, I think the manifestation crowd was right for the last 20 years in some way, shape, or form, that every single thing we say now has to be really selected, really curated, and we really need to point things in a very particular direction to get great outcomes. And the type of outcomes I've been able to get, just to qualify this, is I've helped people that have unconscious expertise that is instinctual and gut instincts and those kind of things, unpack it into explicit steps and sets of invariants that become formulas that can become apps so that we can reproduce human behavior at an A player level without having to have the human involved by extracting it really well. So that's what I do, and I turn it into apps and web apps and stuff like that. So I got some slides here, but Simone, feel free to chime in with any questions anytime. I'm like super dynamic as well. Whatever is your flow, you let me know too.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I just found all of that so interesting. And I love that what you're saying about how we have to get really clear with our language lately, because I think that's the thing that we've got to remember is that AI will literally do what you say. You can't just like assume that it's going to necessarily figure it out. And I also love that what you said about like it used to take you 2 weeks to do one app and now you did 4 in 2 hours. So, yes, let's definitely dive in because I'm so excited to see.
Yeah, for sure. So these are the mental models that I have that sort of can't be replaced. No matter when the next AI app drops, this is still going to be relevant. So first one is you got to start with the problem, not the tool. So when we're trying to create solutions for people, we need to actually figure out like what's the problem. Things like users signing up is not a problem. That's a symptom of a problem. And people quite often describe what's happening, but they don't describe what they want to have happen instead. And they don't describe what's the cost if it doesn't change. So they don't really describe problems very well. And if a stranger doesn't understand your problem in 2 sentences, you haven't figured out what it is yet either. Like you really don't actually know the problem yourself. So you really need to get it super clear, like crystal clear. And to me, constraints like bottlenecks, things like that, they're not limitations, they're creative fuel. Like obstacle is the way, is definitely the way I think about the age of AI and how we approach these things. Every single problem is an opportunity that's just yet waiting to be mined to get the asset out of it. And that's something really important that we want to do constantly when we're looking at client work. And I think about these mental models all the time. So, because I know that fundamentals make you dangerous, the tool's going to change every 5 seconds. And the way you think about the tool and the way you can drive the various tools is going to be something that's hugely valuable. For example, one of the things that's really important to think about is your IP as an operator, right? You're someone who's building in an AI world, whether you've got a business that you're just augmenting with AI or whether you're a business that's helping other businesses with AI, what you want to do is you want to have an edge that you're refining that makes you different to other people out there in the field. And that's going to be something that you don't just want to be like homogenized and something that you don't have an edge. So what you need to do is you need to explore a whole bunch of different fundamentals, like explore wide and get a lot of breadth of the different fundamentals that you want to master, and then cherry pick a few fundamentals and go super deep, deeper than anyone else, and exploit. So it's called the exploit trade-off. And what you want to do is you want to explore until you find like your handful of mental models, like I've done. And I'm going to show you mine today, and you can maybe take a few of these and add them to your shopping basket. But once you figure out what they are, then you want to exploit them. Now, exploit is such a weird word because everyone goes, oh, exploitation is bad. And actually, exploitation's been misappropriated by humans. The word just means to use to its full potential. So I want you to use things to their full potential and their inherent, innate, beautiful in potential, not like some misappropriated potential. Anyway, that's enough of me qualifying the word exploit. But like to me, the tools change every 6 hours. I'm on Twitter, I'm on X, and I see something new every few hours that a friend or someone else is like messaging me and saying like, this is the thing that's happening. This is the latest toy to play with. And so I think you, first of all, you got to frame the problem. You really got to know what the problem is, then pick a tool. You can have all the fanciest tools in your tool shed, but it's really the craftsman's way in which they approach things that makes them an excellent operator versus which chisel you're using, so to speak.
If you want to watch the entire episode, click here. And if you want to watch more episodes like this, click here.